Okay, I'm in Bend, Oregon today, and the first trail that I'm going to do today is Tumalo Ridge, which I'm probably mispronouncing, as I was talking to a guy yesterday and I think he said that I mispronounced it. So Tumalo Ridge. To get to this Blue Intermediate Trail, you leave the Skyliner Snow Park and you go on Tumalo Creek for just a little bit, and then you'll find the Blue Intermediate Tumalo Ridge, and this will take you up towards the Swampy Lakes. And I believe this is a really popular route to take if you want to go down South Fork, which I did South Fork just the other day, but I climbed it which I spoke to some people, and it's a two-way trail and that's certainly okay to climb it. I was the only one that I saw climbing it. I think 13 people passed me going down it, but they were all really nice. They didn't say get out of the way, you old fart. So I think this is a popular route to get to that downhill for South Fork. So, but we're gonna climb this, and then we're gonna do some of the trails in and around Swampy Lakes. Yesterday, or sorry, 2 days ago, I did Swampy Lake West, and then I plan on doing another trail. I don't recall specifically what it was called, but it was Swampy something, that comes back towards the Skyliner Park. But I'll be doing a multitude of trails from there. So this is the first one, Swampy Ridge, or sorry, Tumalo Ridge, and it is a climbing trail, and it's about 3 miles long from what I understand. So we'll see how it is. See how my old man legs last. This is my 4th day of riding in a row. Yesterday was I rode with Jill, my wife, and we did a couple trails. One of them being Ben's. We climbed up that, which really wasn't much of a climb. And then we did Phil's going down, which she really quite liked. But I wasn't able to. Well, I did try and film Ben's, but my SD card crapped out on me, so I had to make a trip to the electronics store and get a new, severely overpriced micro SD card. So hopefully this one will last a while. I've only ever bought the scan discs one, and the last one was, the very first one I bought was 256. It lasted me quite a while, as in months, I guess, but a lot of footage went on it, and then it got corrupted, and then I went to a 156, and as I noticed, it worked fine for a while as well. I didn't put near as much information because I really haven't been posting a lot of videos from home, because I quite simply didn't want to duplicate a lot of the videos that I did. I may start doing some of the downhill ones and duplicate those, but I usually try and put on new content when I can. And so I had the 156, and it got corrupted a few weeks ago, and I was gonna buy another one just to have it as a backup while I was at home, and I didn't, and so then it got corrupted yesterday, so I went out and bought one, and they're quite a bit less expensive on Amazon, but I had to go to Best Buy. So So carrying on, we just went through sort of like a cattle gate for Tumalo Ridge, and we can carry on with our climb. It'll probably take a while for me to get my legs. That's what it is. I don't know how difficult a climb this is. I did, like I said, South Fork the other day, and that's considered a black diamond downhill. And there's a couple spots on the climb that were a little challenging maybe, but I cleaned it, and so it wasn't that bad. If I can do it, anyone can do it. More of a cardio exercise than a technical exercise. But even on trail forks for South Fork, it actually says that it's more of a blue downhill trail, except you have to go over a creek, and it's, I guess, considered as skinny. It's probably a couple feet wide maybe, and so because of that they make it black diamond, because that would freak a lot of people out, I guess. You don't ever want to panic and fall into the creek. That's how you get hurt, and you don't have any fun when you're hurt. So far this trail's been pretty straightforward. The car park was quite full, which for this early, the temperature I think is supposed to be a little lower today. It's actually, there's a chill to the air this morning, which there hasn't been the last couple days. So that's kind of nice actually. It's refreshing for when you're pedaling. Once the sweat starts flowing though, it'll be quickly forgotten. But so far this is quite straightforward. Try cooking in my pace a little bit. I won't be winning any races, believe me. Most of the trails around here though are 2, 3, 4, 5 miles long, and for my channel I typically will put on the complete trail, just even though it's not the greatest, it gives people a full perspective of what they're getting into, instead of putting on videos that are a couple minutes long and just showing a couple things. I'd probably get a lot more views, but I don't get many views, and that's fine too. The trail was sort of set up just as to be a reference for people if they're visiting an area, to get a good idea, or an idea, not necessarily good, of what trails are available to them and whether it's within their comfort zone. So if it takes me 30 seconds to ride the trail, the video is 30 seconds. If it takes me 30 minutes, the trail is 30 minutes. So, and I know no one is watching the entire video except me. To basically, I watch it once completely to make sure that the quality's there, because I don't really want lousy quality. I've actually just posted the other day the first video from here for Skyliners Trail, and was not happy with the TV quality from YouTube, but I watched it on my computer and it was way better. So I don't know what that's all about. because I know that YouTube definitely controls the compression of the videos, and if you're not a big YouTuber, you're certainly not going to get any sort of priority on compression rate. Not that I know anything about that stuff. So my videos are only ever going to be so good, I think, because the raw version are quite good. I have a GoPro 7 Black that I bought secondhand, geez, 2 years ago now, and it's been great, I think. And for my setup, I quickly discovered I didn't like having to stop and change batteries all the time, so I went to a power pack, so I never have to touch a thing. And now with the larger card, I'm good for 8 hours of footage. On the 156 I was good for 4, and on my last couple rides I was into the 3 hours, so I never actually filled it, but I was coming close. So this will give a lot more space, and I don't have to necessarily worry about it getting full and turning it off and all those things. I just let it run. As long as the light is flashing, it's recording. To which, when I looked yesterday, because I try and check that in the lens, make sure the lens is clean, which I am usually not very good at. I'm not usually one to see if it's flashing or not either. I just sort of trust it, and so I just happened to look yesterday and I had a straight red, and I was like, that's not good. So unplugged it, started it up again, and then it recorded the whole of Phil's going down, which is about 10 kilometers, but it took us less than 30 minutes to do it, and we were doing it at a pretty casual pace. You probably could do it twice as fast as that. You could whip along, and I was quite surprised too that we didn't really run into any people, because I thought it would be more popular. But I think we passed a couple people and nobody passed us. That doesn't mean that we were doing great or anything. It's just, I guess we hit it at a good time, because we started at Phil's trailhead, and the parking lot was pretty full. It's a really big parking lot, but so we're out on a viewpoint, but here out on a ridge, Tumalo Ridge most likely, so we have a bit of a view. So the trails here are quite lovely. I've mentioned in other videos, it is definitely a cross-country rider's dream, because even on the black trails there's a little bit of technical stuff, not a great deal, but if you just wanted to come out here and train, you could really rip and cover some really good ground for sure. Because even before coming here, I was talking to a fella that I know, and he was saying that they were here a few years ago, and it got to the point where they were just amusing themselves, and they would call out when they were seeing the next rock. Now, obviously, that's a bit of an overstatement, but a bit of a rock garden here. Too busy talking? But no problem. So they would call out rock when they were doing this sweeping, flowy, cross-country trails. Whoops, I'll slip off a rock. Getting into a few more rock gardens. Some little punchy climbs. Gain some elevation. I did see snow on Swampy Lakes West 2 days ago, so we will be going up to that elevation again. They were just patches though. It's mid-June. And the temperature is definitely warming up a little bit. And as I understand it, when we get to the end of this trail, we have to take a double track to the next series of trails, and we'll be on the double track. That's still a ways away. We'll be on the double track for a couple miles too. When I was talking to the guy at the top of Swampy Lakes the other day, he mentioned that there were shuttles. So I didn't know if he meant that shuttles were bringing people up to Skyliner snow parking or higher, because I looked at the map, I really didn't see anything for shuttles, but because if the shuttle is just taking you from in town to the parking lot, you're still going to have to earn it to get to South Fork and stuff. And the same fellow was telling me about some other trails that aren't on Trail Fork, so I said, nah, I'll stay away from those if I'm by myself, thanks. The last thing I need is to go off the beaten path and then have something happen. At least if you're on trails that are ridden somewhat frequently, you should have a reasonable chance of having someone come across you if you have a breakdown or fall. There's a little bit of speed here. So yeah, I told him I'd give that a pass. Maybe next time. Pretty quick through here. Maybe that was the end of my climbing back there, and because I don't, well, having said that, I was going to say I don't see any other elevation in front of me except for the elevation that's right in front of me. When you can get some speed like that, it'll chew up the mileage pretty quick. Because there are a few trails that I'm going to do that are, I'm doing them opposite to what Trail Forks recommended. They're two-way trails though, which means that there's generally a climb involved, which I have no problem with. I enjoy it. Because the one after this, I will hit that double track. And then I'm doing Swede Tie or something. I have to look at my cheat sheet, see what it's called. And then I think that's the next one. Maybe that's not the next one. And then I'm doing one called Sector 16 maybe. Again on my cheat sheet. And that looks like it might be a bit of a climb. It looks like that one's popular for people to go the other way. But there is a way to get to that Sector 16, if that's what it's called. That's, I think you can, there is a service road, so maybe that's where the shuttles are. Because if you're doing that sector trail, it shows that it's somewhat down. I'm sure it's sort of all mountain. But this is nice and flowy right here, so I'm not carrying great speed, but I am carrying some. Keep my head up just in case someone decides to come the other way. be prepared for them. Plus, be prepared for what's ahead, because I've never ridden it before, so I have this terrible habit of resting and dropping my head, which is never good. And there would be the loose sand. I just sort of lost my front tire for a second. So don't go too far on the edges of the trails here, because it is very fine sand and very fine dirt. So if you got some speed, I could see you going down pretty good. I saved myself, so I put a right foot down, so, and really didn't affect my momentum too much. But things like that, though, you don't pay attention, you're talking for a YouTube video, it'll come up and bite you. But no harm, no foul, as they say. Watch for branches for the eyes. You don't want that either. I should wear glasses, but I don't. I've tried, and I just find that I bought no fog glasses, but I find that I sweat so much that it just fills up with sweat.